And we are live. What's up, beasties? It's me, it's Triple B, your friendly neighborhood bearded book beast. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Beast Friends Forever. Woo! I'm excited for tonight's show. I'm excited to be back into something not like what poor Ellen Holmes, who was in the chat, had to deal with the other day with YouTube Live. I'm trying out Evie Mux. We'll see how it goes tonight. Let me know how everything looks on your guys' end as we go along. But like I said, Ellen Holmes is here. Thanks for being here, my friend. And thanks for hanging in there with me the other day. I have an awesome guest tonight that I'm just so excited to talk to. The author of this beautiful book back here that I could not finish in time before this like I had hoped. But I am over halfway through it and I'm loving it. And I cannot wait to finish it and to see what comes next. Plus, go back and read all the awesome stuff that he already has out that I've been dying to read because he makes some banger, beautiful books that I'm excited to check out. But before I bring him on, I do want to say real quick, just a little thing for me. If you get a chance after this, I just posted a video not too long ago. Today, October 21st, is my mom's birthday, and she passed away from cancer 14 years ago, a long time ago, which is crazy. But I just did some recommendations of some of her favorite books, and I have a little special message at the end. Was kind of her last message to me that I shared with you just as a challenge to everybody. So check that out when you get a chance. Today was kind of always a blah day for me, but I'm excited to be here with you guys and to be here with my guest tonight. But he is fantastic. I think of him as like the king of the Kickstarter because Kickstarter I got on my radar from him because he's done so many beautiful books through there that I've seen and wanted to get. So I'm so excited that I am finally reading something that he wrote, but also that I get to have him on because he is just such a nice and such a cool guy. So I'm excited to have him here. I'm talking about welcome to the stage. Hold on, guys. Let me find my stuff here. I've got my round of applause. Can't find it. Never mind. I'm just going to bring him on because he's been waiting long enough. I'm talking about S.A. There he is. Klopfenstein or Steen? I should have asked you.
No, that's fine. Klopfenstein.
Yeah, I would have been right. I should have just trusted my gut. Oh man, okay, here it is. I found it. I found what I wanted. There we go. Welcome to the show. So how we doing, man? How's your day going?
Doing good, man.
It's so good to have you on here, dude.
Yeah, it's good to we finally got to connect and do this, and so it's always nice to actually meet in person with somebody you've interacted with a bit online.
I know, yeah, for sure. The hat game is looking sweet as always. You always have awesome hats on.
Yeah, mostly I'm starting to get a receding hairline. So.
So you kind of have to, right?
Fine head of hair that you got, man. So.
Oh yeah. Man, oh yeah, I know it's that's a good thing I got from my dad. He's got some crazy hair that he should have shorter, but I did get a full head of hair from him, which is good. We've got a lot of awesome people already in the chat. So like I said, Ellen Holmes is here. What's up, Ellen? J.A. Bryden is here. What's up, J.A.? Thanks for being here, my friend. All the way from Australia. We appreciate you making time to be here with us. And if anybody that's in the chat and doesn't like to comment, as I always say, that's fine. We're happy to have you here. Just hang out, relax, and enjoy the show. But if you have any questions for me or SA, feel free to put them in the chat during the show. And if you're watching this on replay, we appreciate you as well. And just so everyone knows, in the description down below, I've got SA's website linked and all of his books. So make sure you check that out. Support him because after this chat and you see how cool he is, you're going to want to support him and get going on reading his books. So first thing, let's see. A lot of buffering. That's not good. Well, let's hope that is not keep going on. The good thing is if you are watching this live and it does have any issues, the replay is being recorded, so the replay will be nice and smooth. But anyway, so how is everything going, man? You've got a new book out, so we're going to talk all about that, which is fantastic. JA says it's not happening for him. So that is good for us, not good for you, Ellen. I'm sorry that it's buffering for you.
Things are better
Um,
over there in Australia.
yeah, maybe it's only in Australia that it's working good. Um, so we're gonna talk all about the book, but first I just wanted to say like congrats on you releasing another book, starting a new series. How does it feel? How's it been going so far? How do you feel? How's reception? All of that.
Yeah,
Going good?
it's great to get to that point where it's out. This one
Yeah.
was especially different from the other book releases I've had
Hmm.
because I did the Kickstarter, so I really like started talking about the book
Yeah, a long time.
beginning of the year almost. And so it's like I think I put the kind of did the big like cover reveal
Yeah.
and Kickstarter reveal and stuff like February probably. And so I
Oh,
feel like I've been talking about it for forever at this point.
yeah.
And finally it's out there. And I was
Oh,
still working on the book during that time, but it's just kind of different that usually it's like right maybe a couple months before the release or something
oh
you're
yeah.
written that. But I felt like the promo and talking about the book was way more extended, which is both fun and also by the end it was like, all right,
Yeah. I
finally
bet you're like, just get
book's
this book
out
out
there.
there.
Although it's still like, well, the hardcovers aren't
I
out yet.
know. I
And
noticed that when
yeah,
I was
I
getting
ended
the
up
links in
deciding to
there.
do so because we did the Kickstarter and did
Mhm.
the sweet hardcovers and stuff. Those just we're doing a print run for those, and it just takes a long time to
Oh yeah.
for the production process, and
Oh
so
yeah, for sure.
um, I didn't want to sit on the digital
Yeah,
book
yeah. Oh yeah.
until like probably the hardcovers are going to get delivered to Kickstarter backers around the end of December, early January, and so I really wanted the wanted the digital book to come out prior to that. The backers
Yeah.
still got it months ago. And so I kind of just decided to do a bit of a staggered launch, which isn't
Mhm.
that uncommon for different formats.
Yeah.
And this was actually the first one that I ever launched and had the audiobook ready to go. So rather in the past I've had Kindle and paperback and then audiobooks come later, and this time I swapped out. And so it's the digital launch and then yeah, paperback and hardcover. Once backers get those, then those will become more widely available. Although
That's good.
they are still available for pre-order. But
Pre-order. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yep, yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
so that's
all
I
that to
linked
say,
your website.
the process is still going. It's
I was gonna
it'll
say
be a
this is
year
a lot of
long
things. Yeah,
release.
man. Oh, but hey, it's I can attest it's worth it because just the arc you sent me, the cover is incredible. One of my favorite covers I have, and the story within is just as awesome. So if anybody wants a physical copy, like you make some beautiful books, man. Between
Thank
the formatting, like I mean, good gravy. Like just the way, like just like your chapter pages, like everything in here is just I like when you got like a black page here and there. Like it's just beautiful. And I mean, guys, look at this cover. Come on now, look at that. That is just stunning, dude. Um, so before we dive into all the questions I have, just start us off. Tell us in your own words, what is Children of the Gods all about?
Sure. Yeah. So kind of the super quick pitch is like basically it's re- an eventual rebellion against the Dragon Empire, and everything centers up around characters that converge on an island where it's basically the secret location of all of the Empire's dragon eggs, and there's lots of nuance to that that is gets really spoilery really fast, and so yeah, that's kind of the really quick pitch for that.
That is it's spot on. It's a good pitch.
It's
And
definitely got kind of a blend of classic fantasy
mhm.
vibes and modern fantasy as well. I think it's a more probably a little darker, more nuanced view of characters. We get characters from every side
Hmm.
and things like that, and that's a lot of fun to explore and something I enjoy a lot in stories. But you still have at its heart kind of the young characters coming of age and in the midst of a big conflict about to take place. And so
Oh
if you
yeah.
like those vibes with some twists, then um, it's a good fit.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. It definitely has. It's got like that familiar, like you said, some of the familiar tropes and vibes. But then, like you said, you flip some things, and it's darker than um, people would think with some of those tropes, which I love, and I think most people do too.
Yeah,
I was gonna say what I love most about it is that it's such a character. I mean, it's got an awesome story, awesome world, awesome lore. Everything's really cool. The world building, um, the world feels alive. Like it feels like there's a history and everything. But like I can tell that you're a character writer and that you are a character reader because I am too. And like
yeah,
it's so good, man. People are gonna love when you guys check it out. You're gonna love the characters in this. They're so well done. And like you said, they're not like cookie cutter or anything. Like they have some depth and levels to them, and they're not all likable, and they don't all make choices that you agree with, but they're also fun to read. So,
yeah,
yeah, it's really good, man. I think you got something special here, and I'm excited to finish it up. But then I'm excited to go back and read your other stuff from before. So, how many books do you have out now? This is number how many?
number 8.
Number 8. Wow,
Yeah,
man.
number
I was gonna
8,
say
start of the third
6,
series.
8.
Yeah,
Third series. Oh my goodness. You're
yeah,
rocking and rolling, man. Now, how
yeah.
many books have you done? How many Kickstarters have you done?
4 now. This one
Wow.
was my third one,
Yep.
and then my other 3 have been for special editions of my first series, the Shadow Watch Saga.
Yes. Those are the ones I saw, and I was always like, oh my gosh, I want to get those so bad.
Yeah,
Those look awesome, man.
thanks.
So your first, well, let's talk about this, then we'll talk about your other books. But
Yeah,
all right, so this is book one of the new series. Um,
yeah.
how many books do you think it's going to take to tell this story?
I think it'll be 3 or 4.
Okay.
The first time I set out to write a trilogy, I wrote a quartet, or quadrilogy, or whatever you want to call it.
Whatever you want to call
And
it, yeah.
I feel like there's a bunch of names for those,
Oh
but
yeah, it is.
yeah. Or you can call it a cycle, or in my case, a saga. Just avoid calling it
Oh yeah,
one of
yeah.
those. But yeah, this one, I again set out to write a trilogy, and as I've just started to really dive in with book 2 after dealing with a couple Kickstarters, and I had a
Yeah.
novelette I had to
Busy.
write that was a Shadow Watch prequel story
Oh
as
nice.
part of one of those Kickstarters, and so now I'm totally focused on book 2, and I'm already wondering if that trilogy will happen, or it's one of those. Well, how long do I want these books to be, or
Right.
do I want them to? Do I want a really thick trilogy, or things like that? And so I'm
Oh
really
yeah.
feeling. I'm leaning towards 4 at
Okay.
the moment, but we'll see. I initially said trilogy, and it'll kind of just depend on where things really get in the second book.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, and I'm a pretty, especially in my first draft, I do a lot of discovery along the way, and I still have, like, I know basically where book 2 is going to end, but there's a lot of threads that I'm opening up. And you'll see when you get to the end of the first book that things get pretty big
Ooh,
and
all
really
right.
open up. And I've been kind of taking my time getting into book 2, really trying to feel out where the threads are going. And there's a lot that I know the basic plot to get to the end of book 2,
Yeah.
but there's so much character stuff and
Ah,
different things that's going to happen that I'm like, I can very easily see it becoming 4. So
oh man, that is so cool. It's got to feel good to just be writing for a little bit though. After after all the Kickstarter stuff that you've been doing and having to do things for the other Kickstarters, like it's got to feel good to just be able to focus on just writing again for a little bit.
Yeah, that was something that they get pretty involved, and
Oh, I bet.
I've done one a year the past 2 years, and this
Oh
year I did
man.
two, and they wound up being a little closer together than I had
Yeah.
originally thought, and so the Children of the Gods one ended up pushing back a little bit later, like probably a month later
Hmm.
than I was initially thinking, just waiting for some artwork to get done and some things like that. And then my basically for the Shadow Watch Deluxe editions, we as soon as we shipped book two, it was promo for book three, launching book three. And so it was kind of, it ended up just shipping faster than I thought. And,
Yeah.
and so I was originally thinking I'd be doing that one in September, um, August or September, and ended up doing
Yeah.
it in July. So
Oh wow.
what do you do? And so that kind
Yeah.
of took over a period, and it was like finishing all my edits for Children of the Gods, getting everything ready to print.
Yeah.
And then it was like, as soon as I finished that, it was like, okay, now I got to deal with this other Kickstarter. And I got to write a story for that and deal with a bunch of stuff for that. And I still have a few things that I need to wrap up for that, but
Yeah.
it's largely ready. And now now it can become a side thing, and I can just really focus on writing again, which is really nice. I'm
Oh yeah.
excited to just probably the next 6 or 7 months. That's like all I'll be doing,
Oh
and
man.
maybe I'll be commissioning some art pieces and a few
Yeah.
things like that, but be able to really focus on the book, which will be really nice.
Yeah, that is nice. That is nice. Let me shout out some people that came in recently. So we've got a couple more awesome authors here. We got Mr. Tim McKay is here. What's up, Tim? How's it going? Oh, I keep clicking on comments where you say hi to other people, guys. All right. So, Tim, thanks for being in here. Tim is a Bearded Book Beast channel member. Look below for information to join the channel if you would like. Another channel member is Mr. Timothy Wolf. We got the Tims in here. Thanks for being here, my friend. Appreciate you both. Sarah Beth is here. There we go. She backed the Kickstarter. Does it start its own saga, or do I have to start? No, this starts its own, right? It's not really connected to your other series.
They are related in that they both exist in the same
Yeah, in the
universe.
same universe. Yeah.
Um, and so you'll gain some things by reading both, but they stand 100% on their own. It's really just there's some lore things that if you read the Shadow Watch Saga and then you read
Oh, okay.
the Age of Fire, it it's opening up basically some origins for things that
Man.
get explored in the Shadow Watch Saga, and so
Okay.
um, yeah, so definitely you don't have to, but
But
if you
it's
like
cool
it
if you do.
and you want more, then it's more like kind of Easter eggs and little things like that. That's like you don't need to know anything about the Shadow Watch to understand this story at all, but you'd be like, oh, I didn't realize there was this
Man.
is like the origin of this, and some things like that, and
Oh,
so.
that's really cool. I'm glad Sarah Beth asked that because I was going to ask you because I thought they were in the same universe. Are all three of your series in the same universe?
No, the other one's
Okay.
totally different. It's a lit RPG series, and
Yeah,
so
that's what I thought. Okay.
yeah, yeah, totally unrelated and
Okay.
way different in tone too. It's
Yeah.
like wacky humor and stuff like that. It's still like kind of dark, but
Yeah.
like assassins and thieves guilds and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That's cool, man. Well, I love that you have this in the same universe as your Shadow Watch. Now, if someone does want to read both, are they like? Is there like a chronological order to the two series, or they just take place?
really no,
Okay,
yeah.
so you could read either one
It's kind of
first.
one of those like if you like to read things in the order they were written,
Yeah.
then it's not bad to do that. But chronologically, this happens way earlier
Oh,
and comes first, so both of them really work
Okay.
very well.
So
Definitely.
for somebody like me that's to read your stuff and is just diving in with this is a decent starting like entry point because it
It's a
takes
perfect,
place
yeah, it's a
before
perfect
Shadow Watch.
entry point. Yeah,
Okay.
like you could read this series, and you would never need to read the other one
Okay.
unless you were like, I really like this universe, and
Yeah.
I'm curious about some of the things that get explored and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool, man. That is awesome. So there'll be some cool Easter eggs if you read both. That's awesome.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah.
Very nice. Okay. And then that prequel short story that you did for the Kickstarter for Shadow Watch, is that going to be available elsewhere eventually? Like, are you doing
Yeah.
more novellas, novelettes, short stories, stuff like that?
Yeah. I'm compiling them. So each I basically I use the Kickstarters to force myself to write these stories that I'd like kind of outlined briefly and been
Yeah.
like, this would be really cool to explore some things that explore some origins of some characters and
Yeah.
events that happen and discoveries and stuff. And at the time, I couldn't like quite bring myself to like, well, I need to write the sequel to this book, but
Yeah.
I've got this 10,000 word story that I'd like to write, but I can never quite bring myself to to do it, to like pause and
Yeah.
do
Oh
that stuff.
yeah.
Because there's always that pressure to like, you want the next book out. Like
Hmm.
I put those when I released them on pre-order, right when I released them and
Yeah.
stuff. So I was like really locked into like, okay, a year from when book one comes out, book two's got to come out. And then a year from that, because you
Oh
can only
yeah.
do a year long pre order on Amazon.
Oh wow.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. And
So that
so,
you kind of had to do
so
it like
yeah,
that.
I was like, I couldn't quite bring myself to do it. And so then I finished the series, and then I was like, this would be really cool to force myself to do this and have some little bonus and stuff. And so each of these Kickstarters, that's been a goal, a stretch goal, was adding on a bonus story. And then in the end, it for the third Kickstarter, we unlocked an audio book for it, and so all the backers are getting an audiobook of all the
Oh,
stories. And
nice.
then
That's cool.
eventually that audiobook and the ebook, there will be a compilation of the stories that um, will become available.
That's awesome, man. You're getting quite like the universe built up here. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
That's
fun.
cool.
I still I kind of kick myself because like I wish I would have written these earlier,
Oh, right,
but
right. Yeah, yeah.
so it goes.
But hey, yeah, you can't go back and do it. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe you got a time machine that we don't know about, but yeah, it's cool that you're doing it now and you got a plan for it. So I think that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Um, so for this book, how after for this being your eighth book, how has it felt different to be starting a new series? I guess two ways, like just writing the book in general. Do you feel like you've learned a lot from your other series that you've brought into like each book, but now an series? But also, how did it feel doing a Kickstarter again? Do you feel like you're like a pro at that now, where it's just like you could do it in your sleep? So just tell us a little
Yeah.
bit about how this new book, how it felt different or the same for writing versus also a Kickstarter.
Sure. Yeah. So the writing, I think it was a little different, but I've kind of just over the years figured out a bit of a routine. It's changed over the years because, uh, especially since having kids.
Oh
Like
yeah.
when I wrote my first few books, I didn't have any kids, and it was really easy. Like at the time, I was a teacher, and like when I wrote my first book, I wrote the opening sequence. I just woke up like at 4:30 for a week and wrote this, and
Yeah.
then went to work, and then later then I could just kind of piecemeal it,
Oh
like
yeah. Yep.
anywhere I've got time. I had like the mental space to do that pretty easily,
Yeah.
and so I could work all day and then take the dog for a walk and kind of decompress, and then I could sit down and ride for a couple hours and stuff. And so
Yeah.
in the past it was a lot more whenever I had time and things like that. And for this one, um I've developed more of a more of a strict plan and
Oh
things
yeah.
like that, and um, yeah, stuff like that. And now it's like my job now, and so
Yeah.
it's got more structured in that way, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
been its own um basically for the past year and a half, I've been like kind of half time and doing some freelance stuff, writing and
Okay.
freelancing.
Yeah.
And over the course of this year, I've shifted to just writing. And so this book was written like the mornings were my book stuff time, and so I had a really like every morning I could write and things like that. And
Nice.
yeah, that was really so that it was different in that way.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
you had to kind of be
it was more
a little more.
structured.
Yeah,
Although
you had
I
to.
also moved in the middle of it,
Oh gosh,
and
man.
that threw things off really majorly for a couple
Yeah.
months. And so it's like I got about halfway in and then just threw a wrench into all my schedule. And
Oh dang.
yeah,
That's a lot in the middle of all that. Did you move houses but in the same like general area, or did you move like
no, we
far?
moved. So we lived in Utah. Now we moved
Uh-huh.
to South Dakota, where my wife and I
Oh
grew up.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, uprooted our family. We sold our house. We lived in an apartment for a few months while we were looking
Oh
for a
yeah.
house here.
Mhm.
And kids were starting in new schools, and wife was starting a new job, and all these things. And so it was like kind of everything else in life got really thrown off, and my writing schedule got really thrown off there
Oh yeah.
as
I
well for
bet.
like
Jeez.
basically last summer. It was very kind of back to the piecemeal
Yeah. Oh
schedule for a
yeah.
few months, and then settled back in once everybody was back in school and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Dang,
but
that's a
yeah, so
lot,
this
man.
one was like maybe a piece of it becoming more structured writing schedule wise, and also not. So
Yeah.
yeah, but
Wow, yeah.
otherwise, like kind of my general like writing process, I guess I've like kind of figured out what's working for me these days,
Mhm.
which is like having a general kind of vague outline of where things are going. But I especially like when I write my opening chapters, I don't know a ton about the book. I write them fairly slowly, and then I start like pinpointing here's a bunch of places that we're going,
Oh
and
yeah.
kind of have just some general plot structure ideas in mind for I want this beat to happen and this beat to happen and some things
Yeah.
like that, and figure that out a little bit while I'm going along. And I basically get to these points where I have to pause and like really look ahead a little ways, and then I'll put my head down and hammer some stuff out, and then get to another spot and okay, here, and that's worked for me. That some people really need to plan it all in advance, and
Oh
my
yeah.
first drafts are
Mhm.
probably slower than a lot of people that do that because they invested a month or
Oh
however
yeah. Ahead
long
of time, yeah.
really planning things out. And
Yep.
something about like the organic nature of it is just I can't like really put myself into the story if I know it all, and
Right.
I know that like I need to get to know these characters and even know how they're going to react to these situations and stuff like that. And
Oh yeah.
so yeah, I'm like part discovery writer, pause, plot ahead of ways,
Yep.
and
That's
discover
That's
and
an interesting mix. It's I feel like that's a good mix because I mean, like you said, you kind of it helps to know where you're going in
yep,
general. But
yep,
then like especially being a character writer, you kind of have to allow the characters to lead the way a little because if
yeah,
you when you start writing them and you make your characters as deep as you do, you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna be like, they wouldn't do this anymore. Like this
yeah,
has to change, you know? So
yep,
yeah, I think you do it a good way. I think that's a great way to do it, especially for your writing style. I think
yeah.
that works out well.
Yeah, so that's worked pretty good. This one was one thing that was unique about this one, actually, now that I think about it, was I wrote about half of it by hand
Oh
on
wow.
um it's like a is a Kindle Scribe.
Oh yeah.
So it's got like a little digital pen and stuff, and then
Yeah.
you can send it and it converts it to text.
That's pretty
And so
cool.
I would, yeah, that was something that I was trying for this one. And I
Hmm.
also was like, at the time, I was like splitting time between writing and doing web design. And so I
Hmm.
was spending so much time on the computer in the afternoons doing the web design stuff that I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
I
Sick of
don't,
it.
I don't want to write this on
Yeah. Yeah.
on
I
my
don't blame you,
computer.
man.
Or there were just days where I was like, I can't bring myself to. I'm like dreading sitting down with the computer.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I'd walk out. We were living close to this park at the time, and I'd just like walk out, go to this bench shelter, and kind of be in nature a little bit. And I'd take my Kindle Scribe and write
Oh,
like
that
10
sounds
pages by
awesome, man.
hand. And yeah,
Oh,
it was tedious. I don't know
I
if
was gonna
I will
say,
do that again. I
does
think
your
I'll
hand get
probably play
cramped up?
with it at
Like,
times if I'm feeling
oh yeah.
that same like dread of the computer. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, so far for the second book and the short story or novelette thing that I wrote, I didn't do that. And when it came down to like the final probably 150 pages or something, which I wrote a lot faster because I'd kind of
Yeah.
built up to the climax, and then it was just like, okay, I'm writing like 100 pages in a week or something like that. It was quite a bit.
That's wild.
And it that I was like, I'm typing for that for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
But
for
yeah, it
sure.
was kind of an experiment, and it was fun. But it did slow things down,
Oh
and
yeah.
I don't I don't know if I'll continue with that. But
It was worth a
yeah, that
try.
was a unique thing that I did try with this book. That
Yeah.
it worked for this one, and I think I needed that at the time, and we'll see where that goes in the future.
That's interesting. Now
Yeah,
writing with that stylus, did your hand cramp up like it would just with
it did.
writing on
Yeah, that
normal?
was
Oh yeah.
another limitation with which I do run into if with typing too. That
Oh, I
if I
bet.
sit
Yeah.
there, especially with my laptop, like the way my hand sits on it and stuff,
Hmm.
and usually that's the way I prefer to write because I can like sit on
Yeah.
the couch or something. But my handle will like rub on the
Oh
on the
yeah.
edge of my MacBook Air. And
Oh yeah.
so I
That
can only
that
do it for
starts
so
to hurt.
long. Yeah. And
Yeah,
so
that would
I
sting.
deal with that no matter what. I should probably get like a more like ergonomic setup or something like that. But
Uh Sometimes you just got to work with what you got though.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, I don't know. I have a harder time sitting at the desk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that. I get that. We had some more people pop in here. We got Thomas Howard Riley, another awesome author. What's up, man? Thanks for being here. And Christopher Brennan just had a book come out. What's up, man? Uh,
Congrats.
Congrats on your book release. Let's see. And Griftkin is here. What's up? Yeah, right. No, I wish my son actually. I haven't said this yet in a video, but he has his first girlfriend now, so I don't even see him anymore. Unless he needs a ride or to get picked up from her house. That's about the only time I see
Exciting.
him. Oh yeah, young love, and he's
Yeah.
16, so that's he needs to get his license. That's for sure. um, all right, so Kickstarter wise, how
Yeah.
how did this one compare to like the first one? Because I'm sure the first one you're like trying to figure stuff out. You don't really know how it works.
Yeah.
And
I
then this
was
one,
very
it's your
glad to
third
have
one.
done a couple
Yeah.
prior to this one. I definitely think the Children of the Gods one is the one that has done the best of the
Oh,
four that I've
nice.
done. And like every single one is basically grown. Like each of my
Yeah.
Shadow Watch ones have grown.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But having a foundation, like one, I had like kind of a set of people that had backed a couple of my
Yeah.
campaigns
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of a baseline to start with. I had figured out some things about how to market them and run
Yep.
ads for them and some things like that, and how to present things. I observed a ton of people doing different things with their Kickstarter books, and so it brought a lot to the table for, okay, I have a pretty good idea of some things that I want to do with this
Oh
one.
yeah.
I've got a vision of what I think like visually will be really interesting to people or kind of catch people's eye and some things like that. And then I also had like a pool of like most of the artists that worked on this I had worked with on the Shadow Watch books, and that really helped. Like the first one was really tough because I was like trying to find people to work with, figuring out.
Mm-hmm.
I figured out that like to do the number of art pieces that you want, it's way easier to have several people that are reliable
Oh
do a
yeah, that's
couple
true.
or two or three or
Yeah,
something like that.
instead of one person.
Or yeah, if it's one person, it's gonna take longer
Oh
for it all
yeah,
to get
yeah.
done, and and then trying to find styles that are complementary and things
Mhm.
like that
Oh
when you're
yeah.
working with different artists
Yep.
and stuff. And so that
Oh yeah.
that yeah, basically everything that I learned from doing those first ones made it way easier to launch this one, and gave it kind of I guess a springboard to do really well. And I discovered that other people told me this after the fact, that I guess a lot of people on Kickstarter are really interested in new releases, and I didn't know that
Oh.
going in,
Hmm.
because I'd only been dealing with special
Yeah.
editions old books, and so I was a
Oh
little
yeah.
nervous going in that like, well, nobody's gonna have read this book before. They may have read
Right.
some of my other ones, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, I was that was new, and that was a different aspect to it, and so
Oh yeah.
it was still feeling out some things, but
Yeah.
yeah, I was
That's
definitely glad
true.
to have the experience of a couple under my belt, kind of
Oh
before
yeah.
this one.
I think there's some truth to that because when you said that, I thought about it for myself, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, that is kind of cool when you back a Kickstarter for a book that's going to come out later than when you get it. Like that kind of is like, ooh, I'm going to get this before other people, and I'm going to get this
Yeah,
sweet special edition. Like
yeah,
that's true. I do feel drawn to those. That is true.
yeah, yeah, and so that was really cool. I I
Yeah,
was
you're like,
nervous
all
that
right,
that would be a little bit of of a detractor, but
right,
it may
yeah.
have been something that
That's good. That
helped it
that
do well.
that makes me feel good because you do hear a lot of people say there's a lot of readers out there that don't want to read a book until the whole series is done. You know,
Yeah,
so that's cool that there's that many people that backed and wanted to try out the first book in a series. That's really cool.
yeah, totally. I was blown away by how well it did and how many people backed a book they hadn't read, and a number of them read like the opening chapters because I had like a sample. But
Oh yeah,
um,
I'm sure that got some people to get it because that sucked me in right away when
yeah,
I read the first.
yeah, a
That,
good
you
opening sentence
started
at
off your
least.
book, yeah, very well.
Yeah, is definitely helps that out for sure.
Oh yeah, for
But
sure. Sarah Beth, who backed your Kickstarter, said that the artwork was a drew her in, and then once she read it, she became interested in the story. So,
cool.
I mean, I think you do awesome with your artwork, man. With all of them, with this and with your other Kickstarters. So
Yeah.
let's talk about this cover a little bit. So tell me about this book specifically first. How
Hmm.
did it go with the cover? I mean, this is such an epic banger scene. Like,
Yeah.
was this something you envisioned, or was it working back and forth with the cover artist where you guys came to it
Yeah,
after talking back and forth?
it was a bit of a collaboration. Like
Okay.
I had several things that I knew. Like I knew I wanted a character facing towards a dragon. I
Hmm.
wanted the floating mountains, and I wanted Kalango Valley, the setting, to look really epic on the cover. And so I had that, and just kind of said like I wish I had the sketch that I
Oh man,
I did
you
a
did
little
your
sketch that
sketch?
was like,
Oh,
here's the figure, and here's a dragon, and here's
oh,
a,
dude, you
you
got to
know,
save that stuff so you can put it
yeah,
in
I've
your
got it
Kickstarters.
somewhere, but yeah, I've done that for a handful of art pieces where
Oh, that's
I've
so
got
cool.
something really specific in mind,
Yeah.
but it's also terrible because I can't draw, and so it's like, here's my really terrible sketch.
Oh, I wish we could do a side by side. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
but yeah, The rest he just kind of ran with, and
Oh,
that's Joe Requeza who did that, and he's done
amazing job.
several pieces for me at this point, and tons of pieces for other people. He's amazing, and
Yeah.
um, yeah, he'll be doing. I've actually already got him booked up to do the next one, but
Nice.
um, I've got to write more of the book before
Yeah, right,
before
right,
I'm
right.
ready for
You gotta
to
figure
figure
that
out
out.
the cover.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
that's
mean,
kind of how that went. Was like I felt like I wanted a little bit of the classic character facing
oh
out,
yeah.
but
Yep, yep.
wanted the setting to like kind of differentiate that.
Oh, yeah,
And
it's gorgeous, man.
and
Like,
he did phenomenal. And when he added the like blood red skies and stuff,
oh,
because
so cool.
an early version of it was very
Yeah.
bright
Oh
and
yeah.
green and stuff. And I was like, I wonder if we could try like a little sunsetter or something.
Yeah.
And he did that, and I was like, oh
You're
yeah,
like, yes.
you
Oh
nailed
man,
it.
you must have been so happy when you saw it, I bet.
Yeah, yeah. And then the typography and the
Mhm.
design
Yep. Yeah, I love
for the
that.
hardcover. I'll show you the.
Yeah,
I've
let's
got a
see it.
sample of the hardcover here.
Oh
But
man.
Rachel St. Clair, who's worked with me on special editions for the Shadow Watch, did this, and
Dude, you
yeah,
make
so
such good stuff. Look at that. Oh, that's
yeah.
sweet.
And then
Oh, I love the gold
struggling to
corners.
find my camera here.
I know it's hard to find like the right
Yeah, when you have the
direction.
split screen, it throws it throws it off
I
a
know.
little bit.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, that looks.
the
Oh, look at
edges
those sprayed
here, and yeah,
edges.
all that stuff was
Oh,
designed by Rachel. So yeah,
oh.
super
Now,
excited
can
for
people
that.
still get this book through your website? I think when I was
Yeah,
looking online.
if somebody wanted to, they could go to the Kickstarter, and there's a late backer page,
Yeah,
and
look at that colored map.
yeah,
Dang, that looks good.
yeah, that one. It's by Ink Compass Maps, and then our color
Oh,
illustration.
dang.
You just got in black and white on
Yeah, I
the
know,
art.
man.
Yeah, that one's by
Oh,
Sutiwat de Shikamfu.
that is such a good looking piece, man. Look at that dragon.
It's so cool. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude. How does that feel like when you get art like that commissioned and it just looks so awesome and it brings your what you wrote to life? Like that's got to feel so awesome to see your story and your writing just come to life like that. Like that's
Yeah,
wild.
it's so cool.
It
It
probably
took
never gets
me.
old.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Like, and I'm a huge sucker for fantasy art. Like, there's
Oh,
so
me
many
too.
books that I've backed that it was purely just
Yep.
there
The
was an
art.
art piece, or
Yep.
even books that I bought off Amazon that
Oh,
somebody
same.
shared their cover reveal or something, and
Yep.
I was like, "Ooh, that is really cool."
Yep.
And yeah, I'm a sucker for good artwork. It's really cool to have that. Get that commission. It's really fun seeing somebody bring your characters to life,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, it's definitely special for sure.
Oh, so cool, man. Let's see. We got some. Everybody's loving the artwork here. Thomas Howard Riley said it's fantastic. Fancy. J.A. said, what do you print through? Like, I don't know if he means like who do you use maybe for
Yeah,
your
so
printing?
these are made by R.R. Donnelly. They're a major printer who works with like all the big five and
Oh
stuff,
wow, okay,
especially on these kinds of editions, like
nice.
special editions and things like
They look
that.
so good.
Yeah, yeah, and
That's awesome.
they've been awesome to work with. And then I've partnered with Merrick Books to
Oh yeah,
distribute
Merrick.
them, and almost all the campaigns that they collaborate with
Yeah.
work with the same printer, and so a lot of them get shipped over together and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome, man. We have some more people popping in here. J.R. Carell is here. What's up, my friend? Thanks for being here. And Nicole from Nicole's Bookish Nook is here. There you
Thanks.
go.
Oh
Nice to
yeah,
see
I
her
remember.
on book too. Oh yeah, she said she remembers chatting with you back in the day. There you go. Shadow Watch. Book review's still up, so go check out Nicole's book
Yeah,
review of Shadow Watch. All right, so awesome stuff, man. It's I'm really excited for you, and I'm excited for me as a reader and everybody to be able to check out Children of Gods, but also to go back and read all your other stuff. Like, you just got amazing books out there. You've got these awesome Kickstarters and special editions. Like, you're just rocking it, man. So, and now you can have a little R&R, except for not really, because you'll be writing. But, but
it's a nice change though.
yeah,
When you shift to just worrying about getting some words down every day. So
oh yeah, for sure. All right, so we're gonna switch gears a little bit in a second. I have some questions for you about your journey just to becoming a writer and an author. But before we do that, I like to do you like dad jokes, Essay? I need to know.
Of course.
Oh, good, because I got some good ones here for you. I like to share a couple dad jokes. So let me find the one that I want to start with here. Here we go. All right. So, why do cows have hooves instead of feet?
I don't know.
Because they lactose. Lactose. That one's really
That's
bad.
a very bad joke.
I couldn't resist that one. All right. Here's the other one. Why did the lobster blush?
Why?
Because it saw the ocean's bottom. Oh man, rough. All right, so walk us through your journey. Just take us back to when you were young. Just a little essay. That sounds bad. A little essay. Just a youngin. Tell us about what got you into like fantasy and reading and all of that. And then when did you start writing, and when did you decide like I'm gonna write a book? I'm going for it.
Yeah. So earliest fantasy, I would say like the Narnia books as a kid, and when I first watched Star Wars, would be the two that really got me, and then definitely like Lord of the Rings, especially when the films came out. Like, I was the kid who watched those like dozens of times and could quote every line with my friends. And me and my brother had these Lord of the Rings like it was like an RPG kind of a or like I don't know. It was like some kind of card game. I can't really remember. It was kind of like Magic or something where you've got some of those points and different things.
Oh yeah.
And I was very obsessed with that when those came out, and and Harry Potter and stuff. And so those really got me hooked. And then so it was definitely like the classics and like children's books and stuff like that really got me into it. And I was like a very sporadic reader. Like if I found something, I would really devour it. And then I'd go through phases of like high school and stuff where I just read for school and knew that I enjoyed good stories, but there was plenty of ones that I didn't enjoy. And so I was very hit or miss. If I found something that I liked, then I'd tear through it, and then I'd go through probably weeks or months of not reading anything and stuff like that. And so it just kind of depended on what was going on and things like that. But those all got me hooked on fantasy in particular. And I wrote a little bit. Like I definitely had a taste of like writing in high school, and maybe I think the first story that I ever wrote, I'm pretty sure I was in middle school, like maybe 8th grade or something like that. And I wrote this short story about a sleepwalking serial killer.
Pretty interesting, man.
Yeah, it was basically like nothing really happened on screen. It's like here's this lead up to a kill, and then flash forward to him being like getting ready to get like lethal injection. It was really terrible. But
that story was just the points that you use as reference now to write your story, but that one was just the points.
So it was terrible, but I gave it to my mom, and she said that it was pretty good. And so I thought, hey, that kind of kind of stuck with me. I remember trying to write like a chapter of like kind of like a Dan Brown thriller type thing when
Okay,
I
all
was in
right.
high school, and it was terrible. I had no idea what to do. And so I wrote a chapter. I was like I had an opening scene in my head,
Yeah,
and then it was like I don't
that
know.
was it. I don't know where to
Yeah.
go from here.
And so that was like in high school. Then it was
Hmm.
just like there were some times where I got to do some kind of semi creative writing and essays and stuff like that. And what really got me hooked on writing was when I was in college, and I was a music major for a semester, and then I was undeclared for a while. But I had to take English comp, and I took it from a great professor who was a writer, and he like I got to do some cool things, and it wasn't like creative or like wasn't like fiction. It was like kind of essays and things like that, but it was like more narrative essays, and that really got me. I got some really good feedback. Like he read a couple of things that I wrote that year in front of the class, and um, that really got me. And I just like enjoyed the process and things like that. And so I ended up majoring in journalism and took a ton of writing classes. I minored in English and eventually became an English teacher because I didn't want to be a journalist and there wasn't a lot of other things to do.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah,
so, so
that's pretty
yeah,
cool.
but yeah, definitely college was when like I took another class that was it was called freelance writing, and it was basically like you have to bring something creative every week, and it was like basically a
Mm-hmm.
workshop.
Yeah.
And I decided I'd had this fantasy story in my head for a long time, and I didn't know, or I'd had a couple ideas, and eventually, and I was like, I'm going to try to write a book for this class, and we'll see where it goes. And there were some little pieces of that, very vague pieces that eventually became the Shadow Watch.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I got really hooked on it from that class, especially fiction and fantasy writing. And there were a couple other people in that class that I was stayed friends with. We had a writing group
Oh, that's
together,
cool.
and that really hooked me into like I want to try to finish something. It took me years to finish my first book, and that wasn't the Shadow Watch. It was another book that had some shades of what would become the Shadow Watch, and it was like had some elements that worked and some others that did not, and eventually tabled it and tried a couple other things, and then eventually wrote the Shadow Watch a couple years later, and
Man, that's
yeah,
pretty awesome.
and then things have just kind of been rolling since then.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Kind of slow and steady, I guess. Like,
Yeah, yeah, right, right.
yeah,
So you said earlier that now you're pretty much just doing the writing thing
yeah,
is your main jam that you can focus on, which is
yeah.
awesome. That's like that deserves another one of these. That deserves another round of applause because that is like
Yeah, thanks, man.
you made it. All that hard work, paid off. I guess I gotta wait for it to finish. Twice. You get two rounds of applause.
Another round.
Um, but that's awesome. So, at
Yeah,
what
thanks, man.
point in this journey did that happen, where you got to go full time focusing on your books and writing?
Yeah, full time has been. I basically phased out my freelancing over this summer, and so
Nice.
I'm like just starting that.
Oh,
Yeah,
so it's all brand
it's
new. That's
been like
exciting.
it's been as with everything across my
Oh yeah,
journey, it's been like this slow and steady,
slow and
like
steady.
snowball. And I got to a point where I was doing it about half time and was able to
Hmm.
juggle that and doing some freelance web design stuff. And that eventually, over the course of this year, things got stable enough with writing that I decided I'm not gonna try to juggle two things anymore. I'm just gonna dive all in with this, and we'll see see if
You
it
bet.
lasts or what. It's definitely like it's one of those like I've been thinking since before I published my first book, it would be so cool to be a full time writer. And there's definitely an element of like once writing is paying the bills and stuff.
Oh
And
yeah,
my wife has
yeah,
a job too, so it's not paying all our
yeah.
bills.
Right.
Um, but
Hey, that's.
it's my income now, and
Hmm.
there's an element of stress to that
Oh yeah, yeah.
wasn't there at the beginning, where I was like, we'll just see if we
Right. It's just
rise
extra. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
see what happens.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Well, that's where that
but,
slow
but yeah,
making it
it's
structure
very
came in,
cool.
right?
I'm very grateful for um, everything that's happened up to this point. It's been really cool.
Heck yeah, man. That's amazing. You should be very proud of everything you've done. That's pretty awesome, dude. All right. Let's see. So next I want to talk a little bit about writing process. We touched on it a little bit earlier when you talked about kind of how you're a mix of discovery and plotting things out.
Yeah,
So I have some questions about that. But before we do that, I every day on my channel and on social media, I do a question of the day, and I always like to ask my guests what their answer would be. So today I said, if you could or had to choose between these four, like, I'm trying to think of the word I use, like supernatural gifts or talents,
yeah,
because it's spooky season.
yeah.
Which one would you choose? So the options were, um, being able to see and talk to ghosts,
Okay.
uh, seeing or sensing like demons or evil in people,
Yeah.
uh, um, astral projection where your mind could leave your body and go somewhere else, and or having premonitions where you see the future, you have these visions, and then you might
Yeah.
have to do something about it. So which one would you want to have if
Yeah.
you had to choose?
Um. Yeah, that's a tough one. I feel like I would
I
not
know.
want to see the demons in other people.
I know, because then they see you and they would know that you know.
Yeah, that one immediately I was like, no, I wouldn't want that. Premonitions about the future, I don't think I'd want either. I think
I
I'd
know.
rather just not know.
Yep. Yep.
I think I'd just be
I
still.
know.
I think probably the ghosts one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd commune with ghosts.
I know, right?
I
I think that's the one I would pick too,
feel
because
like that
I
could
tried to.
both spooky and terrible, but there's maybe
Yeah.
a way it could be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Um,
depends, I guess, on what they look
what
like.
kind of
Like,
ghosts are they? Is it
yeah,
nearly headless Nick, or is it
I agree. I agree. Oh man. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. Like it would be cool, but then yeah, are they like? Do they look how they looked when they died, or do they look like just how they did when they were alive? Because that
Yeah,
does
yeah.
make a big difference. Oh man, very cool. All right, good answer. Ro Bushy just came in here. What's up, man? You do always seem to come in at this time, my friend. You seem to find us then, but we appreciate you being here regardless. All right, so you talked already about how you're a discovery writer, but you also plot some things out.
Hmm.
I am interested before I go to my next question. Do you feel like that changed as you went from book to book, or from series, or even genre with your lit RPG versus fantasy? Do you feel like that changed at all? Has that kind of always been how you attacked your books?
Um, the first one I didn't outline at all.
Mm. Complete
I
pantser on the
I
first one,
just
huh?
but it still it kind of, and that's kind of when I felt out. Well, I did like still do the pause thing and like, okay,
Okay.
I need to like think through it. Now I do a little bit more intentional. Like there's certain story beats
Yep.
that I want to happen, and I want them to happen around a certain time in the book. So
Yep.
I'm more intentional in that way. Like I've studied plot structure a lot since then, and so I have a lot of that stuff like in my head, and then I'm like kind of trying to as organically as I can let that come through. But as I'm going, I'll be like, this is kind of this moment, I think, like for plot structure
Yeah.
and some things like that. And as I'm looking ahead, I'm more intentionally like, how am I building my climax? I'm doing those things more intentionally than I was with my first book. And so I still do the same, like almost like especially my first book in a series, every time I write like, here's like 10,000
Mm,
words. And
mm-hmm.
then I'm like, I'm not quite sure where all this is going. And I'll set it aside and uh, think about it for a while, jot some things down, and then come back
Yeah.
to it. And like usually when I set out, it's like here I've got this like opening sequence in mind. Like for Children of the Gods, it's the Ascension ceremony. Like I didn't have all the details figured out about exactly how it was going to play out when I started writing it, but I did know like it's going to involve dragon eggs. They're going to be climbing these floating mountains. There's going to be some other young people involved. He's going to have some friends, and I'm writing that and exploring, like fleshing these things out. And then I got to the end of that and paused. And okay, I've got to figure a bunch of things out, and then um, actually jump perspectives completely from there to flesh out some things in the world and then come back to the island. And so, um, yeah, that aspect has been pretty true of every book, and especially book ones, that
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
I just like, I have to get that first like 50, 70 pages or whatever it winds up being down. And then I can start thinking like, way much further ahead about where
Oh
everything's
yeah.
going. But if I don't know that I could do that if I didn't have some characters established and this opening sequence done.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Next question is, when you're like right now you're getting ready to dive into book 2 and like really focus on it. But
Yeah.
as you're working on a book, are you somebody that sets like weekly, daily, monthly goals of how many words or pages or chapters or anything like that?
Yeah.
Or do you just kind of like, I try to write every day, or just kind of look back at the end of the week and you're like, all right, as long as I write, I'm writing in general, like moving forward, then it's going to be
Yeah.
fine. Like, how do you follow with all of that?
Yeah. I almost always do I have kind of a minimum goal of like
Okay.
I need to at least get 500 words down, and I'm usually hoping for quite a bit more, but
Yeah.
that's kind of the this day isn't totally lost if I got if I got close to 500
Right.
words down.
Yeah.
Um, but like right now, as I'm feeling out the beginning of this book, I've written the first few I just finished the opening sequence this
Nice.
morning, and um, I really resisted putting any goal on there. Like I still had like in my mind, I'd like to get 500 words down, but I'd really like it to be 1,000 plus. Like once I get in the flow and stuff, it's then like I'd want at least 1,000 words to keep everything moving fast enough to get this going. But at the beginning, I
Mhm.
really didn't want to like push it too much because I'm feeling out a lot of things as I'm writing these
Yeah.
chapters. Like this is book two's jumping forward several months after the end of book one, and so I'm like figuring out what's happened in between and where's the political landscape right now and figuring out all these pieces and like also thinking about where's everything going to be heading. And so I'm probably doing that a little bit more writing these first chapters than I was with the first book. But yeah, right now I haven't been, but very soon I'm going to be like, I want to be writing 1,000 words a day um, and keep doing that. But yeah, I don't always, but usually have a word count. Um, but it's not every day. Like it's not 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
and depending, I'll adjust that if it's depending on what's going on or
Oh yeah.
stuff like that, and things. So
That's good. All
yeah,
right. Cool. So then on the flip side, when you are writing, are you a creature of habit? Do you like to write in the morning or always at night? Do you like to write in a certain spot? Um, do you like to like in your house, or do you go somewhere to write? or you
Yeah.
just kind of write wherever, whenever, depending on the day?
Yeah, I try time of day, I'd say usually I'm a morning rider. Usually it's after I've dropped the kids off at
Hmm.
school and now the house is quiet. I've been toying with trying to get up early again because there is something about waking up really early that like nothing's in my head yet. Like there's
Mm,
nothing else.
interesting. Yeah.
um, Pulling that's like kind of tugging at my mind in any way. Like
Yeah.
I haven't checked any emails or checked any
That's true.
messages or things like
Yeah.
that, and
Yeah.
so I've been toying with that a little bit, but I haven't done it. So
That's because you said you used to get up at like 4:30
I
or
used to
something.
get it. Yeah,
That's hard to get
I
up that
didn't
early
do
when you
that
know you don't have
very
to.
long term.
Okay.
That was a very like at that period in my life I was like student teaching and had classes in the evenings. I was
Oh
working
yeah.
all day,
Oh, so you
and it
kind of
was like
had to.
my only time to do
Yeah.
this. And I have these
Yeah.
scenes in my head was getting up early, and so that worked then. There was a lot of times while I was teaching that I would. It was either at the end of the day or it was really early. Before I had kids, it was usually late. And once I had kids, it had to be early because I found that I had like no mental energy in the evenings after they
Yeah.
finally went to bed. And so,
Hmm.
yeah,
That makes
so
sense. Yeah.
it's changed over time.
Yeah.
Right now, it's been kind of that like mid morning um, has been the sweet spot. So well, yeah, sometimes right after lunch too. So
Okay.
I break it up. I don't do it all in one shot, and it varies a little bit depending on what other things are going on, how much I'm focusing on marketing or
Oh yeah.
Kickstarter
All the
or
other things. Yeah.
a bunch of that. That's the one thing that I found. There's as I've done these Kickstarters and had more books come out and stuff. That there's more time. I'm investing more time in the production of the books, more time in the marketing of the books,
Mm-hmm.
things like that.
Yeah.
And you gotta find a way to juggle. I would love to get to a point where I can like have an assistant manage some
Oh
things,
yeah. Do all that stuff.
the stuff that I don't want to do, and then I can like
Yeah.
focus on art
Just do
direct
what you want.
for some of
Yeah.
these editions and just writing. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, so right now it's juggling some things, and so there's and I haven't been like in the thick of a book for a while.
Yeah.
Like when I was finishing the edits back for this book back in May, it was like that was all I was doing was
Mm-hmm.
all day editing all day, and then maybe I'd have an hour for some other things, and it was just go go go.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I when I'm in the thick of writing a book, um, that like over these next few months, it'll become much more time of my day just focused on that. But um, I don't feel like I'm at the point in the book where I have enough figured out to have the momentum. And so then
Yeah.
I'll just be like, so I'm like taking some of those times, like, I'm going to just like take the dog for a walk and think about the book or some things like that to
Yeah.
brainstorm some things. And then, like, when I was finishing Children of the Gods, it was like, all right, I'm writing basically like 7, 8 hours straight and like pausing to eat and, and doing as fast as I
Dang.
can because I'm like in the flow of this
Oh
finale.
yeah.
And
Oh man.
I think that like that was just the way that happened, but I think you feel it when you get to the end of that
Hmm.
book of it feels like something that was just in that kind of flow state over a few
Oh
days.
yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. I'll remember that when I get there. I'm gonna be like, okay,
Yeah.
I remember what he said.
It's
He was locked in.
it's a very wild it's a wild ending. Wild concept.
I like wild endings,
So,
so that
yeah.
is gets me pumped. All right. So last question in this area is when you are writing. So since the kids are at school. You don't have to worry about a bunch of noise with like kids running around and all that. But do you like it to be completely silent, or do you like some background music? And if you do, does it have to be instrumental, or do you listen to music with lyrics and or TV or
Yeah.
whatever?
I almost always have music going, and it's almost always either movie, TV, or game soundtracks.
Nice, those are great.
Um, yeah, I don't listen to anything with lyrics basically ever
Hmm.
while writing.
While writing, yeah.
Maybe while like thinking about a book. Like there's been a couple of
Okay.
albums that have been like this is a very mood for a book, and like I'll be driving and thinking about the book and listening to that. But
Hmm.
um yeah, I can't do lyrics at all. And even if it's
Yeah.
a sound, like I can't listen to the Lord of the Rings soundtrack or some of those that I really have
Oh yeah,
this
'cause
scene in
you're
my
picturing
head.
the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I didn't
so
think about that.
it's got to be. I love game soundtracks for that reason
Yeah,
because I really don't have a scene in
yeah,
mind for those. It's just like
yeah,
vibes. And
yeah,
so,
yeah.
like
That's interesting.
when I was writing my lit RPG series, I describe it as like basically Dungeon Crawler Carl meets Assassin's Creed, and
That
I was
sounds pretty
listening to
awesome.
Assassin's Creed soundtracks constantly while I was writing because
Okay.
it very much has those vibes and just with more humor mixed in. But
Oh, dude, that sounds
um,
awesome.
yeah, and so for the Children of the Gods, I listen to a lot of the Skyrim soundtrack, the
Oh,
Shogun
nice.
soundtrack,
Oh,
um,
nice.
handful of other ones. But yeah, there's certain ones that I'll be like, this is kind of vibing with this book, and I'll listen to them a ton. But
Oh, very cool. Okay. Well, that's awesome stuff, man. All right, so we've been chatting already for an hour and 12 minutes. Usually at the end, I like to ask a few questions that help us to get to know you outside of writing. But I want to respect
sure,
your time because you said you needed to be done for sure by, so we got some time.
we're
But
good. Yeah,
do you have a little more time for us
sure.
to chat a little more? Okay.
Yeah, you bet.
All right. So I just have some questions. We'll start off with some simple ones.
Okay, I'm ready.
So, well, actually, before we do that, since you're okay with time, I usually before I ask the questions, I ask a riddle to see if you can
Okay.
solve it. So we're gonna start there, and the chat, you guys can jump in and help essay out if you think you know an answer. So let me find my riddle that I chose for today. It shouldn't be too bad. I think you're gonna get this one. Okay. Uh, Here we go. What belongs to you, but other people use it more than you do? What belongs to you, but
Yeah.
everyone else uses it more than you do? It's not
Your
a physical object. Did you say your name? Get the heck out of here, man. You did you know this somehow ahead of time?
no.
Do you have one of those supernatural powers that we talked about earlier? All right,
Your
that's
ghost was whispering.
that gets it in. That's good stuff. See, I had all these sounds ready to go. If you were going to get it wrong, I was going to do this. But I don't get to use it because you nailed it, man.
Yeah, just keep the
Nicely
applause
done.
coming.
I know. Jeez. I just got to keep it on that page, I guess.
That's funny.
Well done. That was impressive. Like, I didn't even think I explained it well enough yet. And you're like, name? Nicely done. That might be the quickest one of the quickest ones ever, man. Nicely done. Nicely done. All right. Yes, Ellen agrees. She said, nice. Nice work. All right. So here we go. Now we got the question. So first one, what is your favorite color?
Blue.
Ooh, no hesitation.
Yeah.
What, has it always been blue? Is there a reason or just you just like blue?
No, just like since I was a kid. Like,
Same. It's my favorite just because I just like blue. I don't know.
yeah.
Just like what you like, you know? And then neither of us are wearing blue after we said
Yeah,
that.
no.
All right, next one. What's your favorite food? Now you're married, you have kids. You don't always get to eat what you would like to eat. So if you got to choose anything, doesn't matter if the kids like it or not, What are you eating? What's your favorite
Ribeye,
food?
ribeye steak. Yeah.
Nice. Now, from a certain restaurant or just at home, how do you like to have it the most?
Yeah. Either. Yeah.
Okay.
I enjoy grilling my own.
Hmm.
But yeah, going to a steakhouse
So
is
good.
great too. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
you can't beat that. Now, how
yeah.
do you like your steak? Like medium,
Medium
extra
rare,
rare?
medium
Okay,
rare.
that's how I am too. Me too.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, some good mashed potatoes, maybe some
Mm-hmm.
asparagus, and
Oh yeah, I like me some asparagus. Yeah, yeah, I like it.
yeah.
Do you grill your asparagus? Throw it on the grill and like some foil or something, or what do you do for yours?
Usually like on a pan in some olive oil.
Oh, fried asparagus. I don't
Yeah,
think I've ever done that before. I
it's
usually put it in on the grill or like roast it or something, but it
yeah,
would be good in a pan. I didn't think
yeah.
about
It's
that.
a little messy, but
Oh yeah,
not all
it
of our
always is.
platters. But
It's
yeah,
I know.
it's pretty
It's
good.
like yeah. If you want to make veggies good, it's got to get messy.
Yeah.
Always. All right, that is a good answer. I agree with that. Oh, so do you like your steak with? Do you ever have steak sauce with it, like A1 or anything, or just
No.
the meat?
Hell
Yeah.
no.
I feel like if you have to use steak sauce, then something went terribly wrong
Yeah,
with your
yeah.
steak.
It's a bad steak.
Yep, yep. All right. Next question. So you have to think about this one for a second. So
Yeah.
we know that you are very good at this writing thing and doing Kickstarters and all of this stuff. But what is either a talent or a hobby that you have that we don't know about?
Um.
People get hung up on the talent. It can be a hobby too, like something you collect or go do. It doesn't have to be a talent.
Sure, yeah. The biggest one that comes to mind would be I'm pretty good with the guitar,
Oh, nice.
but I
Okay.
also have not played very much in quite a while. So, my two things that would come to mind would be my wife, the guitar, and then my wife and I used to go to a climbing gym a lot,
Oh,
and I was a
wow. A
pretty good
climbing
rock
gym.
climber for a
Okay.
while at
Wow.
the gym, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I like love being in the mountains and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and climb some not too crazy but pretty high
Wow.
peaks with my brother. We
That's
go to
pretty
Colorado
wild.
a lot and climb these 14,000 foot mountains,
So you're
and
basically like the characters in your book at the beginning of Shadow.
there was definitely there's definitely some influence in that opening scene,
Yeah, that's
and just
cool.
my love for some mountaineering stories and stuff. So
Wow, that's
yeah,
wild. So this rock climbing gym, did it have like just the big rock climbing walls that you climb up and get to the top? Just a bunch
yeah,
of them you practice
yeah.
on, or like
Yeah,
that's pretty
we'd
cool.
go there a couple times, 2 or 3 times a week,
Wow.
back when we didn't have kids and
Yeah, and you could
had
do what
lots
stuff
of
like that.
time to invest in fitness and things
Oh
like
yeah, I
that.
know.
And
Yeah, yeah.
bodies.
Kids kind of make it
Yeah,
hard to keep doing that.
yeah. So those would be probably the two that come to mind. But
Yeah, that's pretty
um,
cool.
yeah, I don't do either of those a ton right now.
See, now I'm just picturing you climbing up the side of a mountain with the guitar strapped to your back, and then you get up to the top in
Yeah,
nature and just start strumming the guitar.
yeah, yeah.
There we go.
I did climb a mountain a few weeks ago, um,
That's
but
awesome.
yeah,
Oh man, like I like to go hiking up in the mountains and stuff by me, but I don't know about climbing up one on the side. I
yeah.
don't know. I see
Yeah,
people do,
I mean, it's
but I haven't.
what I'm doing is not it's nothing like what they're doing.
Hey, it's still
But
something. It's
yeah,
something. That's good, man.
yeah.
Very cool. All right. Next question. What were you ever? Are you now? Probably not now because you have kids and all this. But have you ever been a gamer? Like played video games?
Yet, yes. I've never been like a crazy gamer. In
Yeah, me
that
neither.
I still enjoy playing video games,
Hmm.
and I go through phases where like, I'll play quite a bit for in my free time for a couple months maybe, and then I won't play for the rest of the year,
Yeah,
and then I'll do it again. And so, yeah, I do. I wish I could play them more.
I
But
know. Me
yeah,
too.
it's just one of those that's way down the priority
Yep.
list.
You only got so many hours in a day,
Yeah,
right? You got to cut
yeah,
some things out. What
for sure.
were you console or PC?
Console. Yeah, I
Me
was
too.
never really a PC person. I don't know.
Yeah, me
I had
neither.
friends that were, and I just um I really liked Roller Coaster Tycoon when
Oh,
I
that
was
was
like in
such a
middle
fun
school.
game.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
that game
those
was
were about
awesome.
I did when it started going into the more hard I don't know, I felt like I could get the same from a console
Oh
game,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so
Well, and a lot like you just buy the console and you got it. You don't gotta like try to up your graphics cards and all these things
yeah,
because the games that you want to play on PC, like you got to put some money in if you want to
you
be
do,
actually be able
yeah.
to do them. You know.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just, for whatever reason, I'm sure there's certain things that are way better on
Oh yeah, I'm
PC that I
sure.
don't
Yep.
know about.
Yep.
But yeah,
Same.
most of my friends were console gamers, and so
Yeah, it
yeah.
worked out good. What console did you have?
Um, had the N64.
Nice.
Yeah, classic.
Oh yeah.
Had the actually, I don't know if I ever had an original Xbox. I definitely had friends that did and played a ton of
Yeah.
Halo
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh,
I think it
Halo
was
was so
mostly on
fun.
other friends, and I had a PS2
Oh
and
yeah. Hmm.
played a ton of stuff on there. Yeah,
Nice.
so as like high school me, ton of gaming.
Oh yeah.
But
Those were the days, right?
since high school, very hit or miss, just like
Hmm.
phases of playing a ton and then
Yeah.
not playing at all. And like pretty much from when I graduated high school, that was the case. That like
Hmm.
go through a phase of like I'm
Yeah.
going to buy this Assassin's Creed game, I'm going to play the whole
Oh yeah.
thing, and
Yeah.
then I won't touch a console for
Years.
yeah for a long time.
Yep. Yep.
One
Well,
thing I
games are.
did, this is a while ago now, but I bought a
Mhm.
PS2, like a refurbished one, to
Oh, that's
replay
cool.
the old Lord of the Rings games,
Mm.
and
Oh,
it
that's
was
awesome.
really fun. I wish they would remake those
Oh,
because,
I know. I'm
um,
surprised they haven't.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that
that
was
was
really fun.
yeah, that's cool, man. Getting the old systems is a lot of fun sometimes.
Yeah,
I enjoy that too.
I've got an N64 that I'll get out with my kids every now and then, and my
Yeah.
oldest is 5, so he's like barely to the point where he can really do anything, but
Yeah.
we'll do the Mario 64, and he likes
Oh yeah.
and jumping and then gets bored after 20 minutes and
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
pulls away.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Now, since you had 64, did you ever play the 007 GoldenEye?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably my favorite show of all time is Breaking Bad.
Oh, I love
Um,
Breaking Bad. So
yeah.
good.
I watched that a couple of times now and
Hmm.
it's so good. Like I'll
Yep.
rewatch it again in a few years when I've
Oh yeah.
forgotten the things that
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that was my COVID rewatch.
Oh yeah, that would have been a good one to rewatch
Yeah.
during COVID. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Oh, nice.
Um, yeah, so that's probably my favorite all time. I really like Stranger Things.
Oh, me too,
My
man.
wife
I'm
and I have
so
been
pumped.
rewatching that for the
Yep,
last season,
me
and
too. Oh,
yeah, we rewatch. We're
so
almost
good.
on the second season, and they're so good. Like the first season's the
Uh,
best, but
it is.
they're
It
all
is.
really good
They're all good.
and
Yeah.
just really fun. And I love
Oh man.
the vibes that they captured.
Oh yeah, they do. They capture that feel of 80s, 90s too
Yeah.
so well. Like they nail it. Oh, it's so good.
Uh,
I'm nervous though because like these all these main characters that have made it this far. They're gonna take a bunch of them out. Like
yeah.
I'm not ready
They
for
just
it.
better not kill
Uh,
Steve. That's all.
I know, I know, I know, I know. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Steve and Hopper. They better
Yeah.
not take out either one of them. Those are my guys.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
all right.
Recently I really liked Severance.
Oh, I gotta
Um,
watch Severance.
yeah.
Everybody talks about it. I gotta watch that
It's
one.
really good. It's very weird. It's
Yeah.
like delightfully weird. It was so I it's like one of those it's very hard to even describe. Like it's like culty, it's like
Mm-hmm.
thriller, it's like also really slow burn at times
Yeah.
and weird
Oh,
mysteries and
so it's a
yeah.
mashup of a bunch of good things.
It's definitely a smash up of a few things
Mm.
and
Oh, all
yeah,
right. I'm gonna have
like
to
I
watch it
guess
now.
if you threw Lost in with
I was gonna
corporate
say,
space,
yeah, that's what somebody else
that's
pitched
a
it to me
really
as.
didn't
Yeah.
tell you much if you haven't seen it. It's like that sounds weird. Yeah,
What?
Lost
Yeah.
is another one that
Oh,
I've
so
always
good.
loved Lost.
Mm-hmm. My son, his 16. He just like this past summer, he like binged all through Lost, and I watched some of it, rewatched some of it with him, and I'm like, man, the show is still so good, even after
Yeah,
all these years. Like,
yeah,
it's nuts, so good, such a good show. So
yeah.
that's I've heard that before, that Severance, and he said it because he's watching Severance. I'm like, man, why are you doing all the things I want to do? I want to be in high school again.
Yeah,
But yeah, he said that that's what he said. It's kind of reminds him of Lost, but in
yeah.
like a different
It's
setting.
totally different, but there's some
Yeah.
vibe similarities. Yeah,
Very cool.
lots of weird mysteries and stuff
Oh,
that slowly get unraveled, and
I
yeah,
love that
hope
stuff.
we'll see how where it all goes. But
Yeah. Oh,
I've really enjoyed it, and
that's cool.
Arcane was another one that I really liked.
Oh yes, I love Arcane.
Yeah,
I still haven't watched season 2 yet. Are you caught up?
yeah, season one was better, but
Yeah, that's what I
season two was
heard.
still good.
Yeah,
Season
yeah.
one was like one of my favorite seasons of anything
Oh,
I've ever seen.
me too.
And I don't
So
like
good.
I don't watch a lot of animated stuff. I don't really
Yeah,
watch anime, but that one
right.
was
So good.
incredible.
Oh man, it's so well done. I agree.
Yeah,
Awesome stuff. All right, very cool. Well, then let's bring it back to books here at the
yeah.
end. So, first, do you somehow find time to read still these days with everything
Yeah,
you have going
I
on?
do. I don't read nearly as much as I
Yeah.
would like, and I'm always like torn between so like this series has like some classic fantasy and
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
some of the what I would consider the more modern
Yeah.
take on classic fantasy, like Ryan Kyle and John Gwynn
Oh
and
yeah. Mm-hmm.
stuff that kind of
Yep.
match some of those vibes.
Yeah.
Um, and then I also have like there's quite a bit of World War II influences
Yeah.
as well, and like book two, there's going to be a lot more combat
Oh
perspective and
wow.
stuff.
Okay.
So I've
That's
been
cool.
like reading this book that's like an embedded journalist with a platoon in Afghanistan,
Oh
and like
wow.
just trying to like
Yeah.
I'm always like
Learn a
torn
little bit.
between trying to read stuff that's like
Yeah.
indirectly or
Right.
directly
That's helping your
related to what
story. Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
writing, or like is sharing some vibes or is
Yeah.
actual research or stuff like that, and then reading stuff that I just want to read.
Right. Just as a
And
reader. Yeah.
yeah, so right now
That's
I'm
tough.
reading Hellbent by Lee Bardugo.
Oh,
It's
nice.
the sequel to Ninth House, and it's
Yep.
kind of like a dark fantasy Ivy League.
Yeah. Like.
And I really like the first one. I read that like when it came out, like 5 years ago
Mhm.
or something, and I'm
Yeah.
finally getting to the sequel.
That's how life goes,
But
man.
yeah, yeah, really, I've really enjoyed John Gwynn recently.
Hmm.
I've been reading the Witcher books. I
Oh yeah.
actually read the first few like when the show first came out, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I got like there's a couple collections of short stories that I
Yep.
really liked,
Yep.
and then the first
Yep.
novel I didn't really like that much, and so I didn't come
Yep.
back to it for a long time. And then I
Yeah.
just finished reading the third novel, and like just randomly was like I kind of want to watch The Witcher or read The Witcher. I don't know
Right. Yeah.
why, and so read a couple more of those and really enjoyed them. And so
Oh,
I'm
that's
probably
good.
going to try to finish the last two
Yeah, because then a new one just came
sometime
out. Although
soon.
it's like a prequel, I think the newest book that came out. I think it's
Yeah,
Snag.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a prequel. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
read the
wanted to
short
at least
story.
get through. There's also, I think, like a final novel that's not related to kind of the core, like
Oh,
Geralt,
okay.
Yennefer, and
Yeah.
Ciri story. But well, I don't know. It might be related in some way, but it's not like part of
Right.
the main
Not of
sequence or
that little
whatever.
story. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So I'm hoping to get through the first like the last two of the main sequence, and then I'll eventually get to those other ones. But
Yeah.
yeah, I very rarely like read multiple books in the same series in a row, because I'm always like,
Yeah.
oh, like
Spread it around. Yeah.
earlier this year I read Malice by John Gwynn, and it was
Hmm.
awesome. And I really want to read the second one, but
Hmm.
there's a bunch of other stuff that I want to read,
I
and I don't
know
have as
it's
much
so
time
hard. Yep.
to read as I would like. And yeah, so
I know it's
yeah,
crazy. There's just so much
love
stuff.
reading. I wish I had more time for just like pure fun reading.
Enjoyment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I know it's I'm sure it's easy to do that when you're especially now that like your jam, like your job is finally the writing, which you've been working towards, but now it probably feels like that pressure of when you have free time, it should be something that's helping your writing. If you're not writing, you should be
Yeah,
doing,
yeah.
like
You
I
really have
can't just
to
read for
try to
fun. I
find
got
some balance. Yeah,
yeah,
it almost turns reading into work sometimes, which
yeah.
is a like I mean rough work. You got to read
I know, I gotta read. Yeah, I
John
know.
Wayne or something.
Jeez.
Yeah, but yeah, there are some times when it's like if I wasn't writing this book, there's a couple of things that I
Yeah.
might read in before I read this or
Yeah.
something. But
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
For
I'm
sure.
like in this headspace and I'm wanting to like there's also I wanna read some more dragon books. I this one it is a dragon book. Book one is not as dragony as the rest of the series is gonna get. It's more dragon eggs, but
Hmm.
um, yeah. So like I'm not a huge dragon fantasy reader, but there's
Hmm.
certain ones that I've really
Oh
enjoyed,
yeah. Hmm.
and I also want to see what some other people are doing and have done. But I'm
Yeah.
also trying to capture some other vibes. And you also it's funny because you also are sometimes like, well, I don't want to read something too closely
Oh
related.
yeah. Yeah.
So I
Exactly.
don't want
Yeah.
things to bleed through too much or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. You don't want to all of a sudden accidentally be writing the same story or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But yeah, that's cool, man. I agree. And LN is talking about wanting to read The Witcher. Oh, why didn't it pop up? There it goes. Wanting to read the Witcher novels because she loved the game and the series, both awesome.
Yeah.
I think. And then yeah, I read the short story collections, and I wanted to read the books, but I kind of heard that the books aren't as good as the short stories. But that
Yeah.
makes me feel better that you liked
I would say
like the other one.
the first novel for sure, second one, probably the first two novels. I feel like I don't know for sure if this was the case, but like the
Yeah.
first ones are all episodic and like short
Yep.
stories or
Hmm.
novellas and stuff,
Yeah.
and so they're shorter form. And I felt like the first two novels, one like deviated from some of the vibes of the short stories,
Hmm.
and also like didn't quite like I felt like he was still figuring out how to write a novel
Yeah.
as opposed to the shorter form stuff.
Right, because
It's
that's
just like
different. Yeah.
plot wise kind of felt that way to me, but and
Hmm.
maybe
Hmm.
I could totally be wrong, but that was my vibe from reading the first two, and then the third one I really liked. It was like felt way more like
Okay, so it's like
the
he figured it
short
out. Got back.
stories
Yeah.
and still had some elements from the other ones, and like obviously the stories carrying over and stuff, but just vibes wise and some of the plot choices felt closer to those stories that hooked me.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Good to know. All
I would
right.
I would
Cool.
definitely advise anybody definitely read the short
Check them
stories
out.
and then give the novels a
Aside from
try, and
yeah.
if you've got time. But just know it's like when people are like read the Wheel of Time, but there's definitely some books in
There's
there.
the slug. Yeah. Yeah.
Just expect there's some
Yeah.
some rough books in there, and so
Right.
kind of come into
There's
this one probably with a similar
yeah.
mentality.
Yeah.
Like
That's
you'll
true.
probably
That's
really
true.
like the short stories. If you don't like the short stories, probably stop there.
Right. Then
But
don't read the book. Yeah. 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 That's true. All right. Well, awesome, man.
yeah,
So in a minute I'll go into my ending spiel here, but I just want to say thank you for coming on. This has been a blast. I've been
yeah,
looking
definitely,
forward to
man.
chatting with you, and this is called Beast Friends Forever for a reason, because now we are Beast Friends Forever. So anytime you need anything, let me know. If you want to come on for anything, let me know. For sure, when you
Appreciate it.
have books come out, we'll have you on. But anytime you want
Yeah,
to chat about anything, let me know, and I would love to have you back. So before I
yeah,
go into my ending thing, you have the floor, my friend. If there's anything you want to shout out, share, talk about before we go.
sure. Um, yeah, don't really have have anything.
We kind of already
Appreciate
talked about everything, but
yeah, appreciate everybody swinging by for however long you came by for. And if you came by for the whole time, then kudos to you. LN's been here the whole time for sure. So
knocking it out.
yeah, it's fun to chat. Appreciate everybody stopping by, and um, people that backed the book. Thank you so much for doing that. And yeah.
Awesome stuff. So remember, all of Essay's website, books, everything's linked in the description down below. Go check
Yeah,
them
great.
out. I'm reading the book. It's good. Children of the Gods, 100%. You guys will love it, because if you're watching this, you either already like Essay's work, you're going to love it, or you like the same things I like, and you're going to love it. So either way, check it out if you have been interested, and then go back and check out his other stuff. It's all in the description down below. But thank you, chat. You guys were awesome as always. Thank you if you're watching this on replay. We appreciate it. And again, thank you, Essay. I had a blast, man. Everybody have a great night. And I'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I have an interview with Cheyenne Brahma, who has a new book coming out soon in the next few days. So
Cool.
Look forward to that. I'll see you guys in the next one. And until I do, as I always say, devour your TBRs. Be brave, be beautiful to one another, and be